Hello and welcome y'all to another collective tarot reading. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to be opening up with some oracle cards here, and then I'll be diving into the tarot. So please do keep in mind that these are general readings, so you may find some of the message resonates, some other parts may not. Take that which resonates, leave what doesn't. So let's go ahead and see what we have here coming up for the collective. She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. This feels like a cry for whatever reason. This isn't a bad cry. This is kind of like somehow almost like a release into the ethers for whatever reason. This has something to do with the primal aspects of humanity. It's like not a release per se, but it's a little bit different. Like, how do I explain this? Like, it's simultaneously a release and a calling for something new. It's almost like a stifled expression that is finally somehow making its way to the forefront, is what this she-wolf kind of gives me. We have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards, which is fantastic. I feel like you're going to be seeing some sort of growth coming as a result of this. Then we have Hunter, track down your fears and desires. You're getting really intentional here within the near future regarding what it is that you truly want. I love that once upon a time, before the Abrahamic religions were a thing, horns on a person were not considered a symbol of evil, but rather a symbol of power. And so this is kind of what this hunter gives me. This is very like pagan in nature, which is super neat. Let's go ahead and get some cards from the Spirit Animal Oracle cards here. Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. Whatever this is really damn good. Eagle Spirit, Spirit has your back. It's very clear here that whatever these ideas that you have, or this release, or this newness, I'm getting a lot of newness and growth, and a reaping of rewards. Spirit has your back on this. And when I say spirit, I don't really know what spirit is entirely. I don't think any of us truly know. But it's like maybe something akin to the universe. It seems to be like pushing you in this direction. It's like, yes, yes, yes. I'm getting like a yes, let's go. Green light has been given. We have Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. You're on your path here, and it feels really good. It feels like nothing can stop you, which is amazing. Regardless what obstacles are placed on your path here with Rhino Spirit, you have the capabilities to overcome whatever these things are, which is phenomenal. Let's go ahead and use some of the Dark Crystal Tarot cards here, as these are some of the ones that I've been enjoying lately. We have the sun. Look at that. Happiness, joy. Oh, you could be dealing with the Leo here. Something about the sun feels so damn good in my heart space, in my gut. This is somehow like overflowing joy, that it's almost, this sun almost feels like the stars have somehow aligned in whatever the set of events are. This also deals with the growth, like enjoy growth and reap rewards. We have the Seven of Wands here. I don't know why I'm getting like, almost like, it's really strange. I'm getting teeth, like almost like a chowing down on something. Like eating? Something about like eating something. This kind of gives me like concepts of like a predator, right? We have predator, like a concept of predators, like eating something. I don't know why I'm getting that. This also reminds me of like a biblical saying of like the gnashing of teeth or something like that, which is bizarre. I know that tends to be like a hell concept too. We have the Five of Pentacles here and the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Gems, or the Two of Gems here. It's interesting because I tend to read things intuitively. So even though this is the Five of Pentacles, I'm not seeing it this way. It's interesting because something about this Five of Pentacles almost gave me like somebody's heart has been turned to stone. And it's strange because I want to put like parentheses, quotation marks around this, like something about this doesn't necessarily make sense. It's almost like a deflection of love, although with the Two of Pentacles, I'm not necessarily seeing that because we have this interesting relation between two people here that is very beautiful. I don't know why I'm getting, strangely enough, these Pentacles almost kind of feel like love based. I don't know why I'm also getting, for some of you, there's an outpouring of love. an outpouring of love, and there's like a mirroring event between you and another person because of this. Again, this could be with the Leo specifically that you're dealing with here. We have the Queen of Gems. See, she's holding the heart here. It's strange because whoever this Queen of Pentacles is, this earth sign seems to be holding this heart. And there's genuine, like, almost like concern in this Queen of Pentacles eyes. It's strange. Something doesn't necessarily add up here, though. I don't know why I get that impression. This almost gives me something about like a grandmother as well with this Queen of Pentacles, considering this little creature here. I need to study up on the Dark Crystal. It's been a while since I've watched it. I watched it a few months ago. I revisited it, and I forgot the names of all the like different species. But this Queen of Pentacles seems to be holding this heart, like with genuine concern. Oh, and then we have the Devil. Now that's interesting. So we have Capricorn here. I don't know why I'm getting like an enmeshment event or something like that, which is strange. Because I can't help but notice these like really weird strings that seem to connect all of these like legs together. I don't know why this kind of gives me the concept of also saying like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I don't know why that is. There's genuine concern here. I don't know why I'm getting that for some of you, like, even though this concern is genuine, it's like, it's also not applicable, or it doesn't entirely make sense. There's something deeper underlying here that I can't seem to touch too. Now this is a really strange idea. For whatever the reason, this Queen of Pentacles fears the idea of like the devil specifically like coming out to get her or something like that, which is strange because I don't necessarily sense that that's what's going on here. For some of you, if you have concepts around the devil that are triggering, I'm here to tell you that it's okay. Like, please do not concern yourself with these ideas. These are outdated ideas that generate fear. Like, these are fear-based thoughts and feelings that actually do not apply. So please take that and know that everything is okay. This devil being here is, I want to say, is not actually real for whatever reason. Like, for whatever reason, this Queen of Pentacles may have some sort of fear around this idea too. Like, for some of you, again, like I apologize outright because I know that some of my content is going to be triggering for those who are raised in Abrahamic religions, in particular Christianity, since that tends to be like the predominant religion here in the US. This idea is outdated and it doesn't actually make sense. And as I continue with my readings, I'm going to be talking about the reasons why that idea doesn't actually make sense. Now, do we all have darkness inside of us? Yes, it is part of the human experience. We cannot deny our shadow. We must be able to hold it and love it for what it is. And oftentimes our shadow is triggered in moments of necessary survival. Right? We are all survival-based creatures. That's ultimately how we function instinctually or instinctively. And so this idea seems to have a very heavy weight on somebody for whatever reason. Remember, track down your fears and your desires here. This is important and key to whatever this event is, because at the end of the day, I need to make it known that Spirit has your back. Like, it's okay. I don't know why I feel the need to say like it's okay for you to feel that way. It's okay for you to feel this way if this pertains to you or a person that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with maybe a Capricorn or a Taurus, maybe even a Leo, give this person a warm hug because this fear for them is actually very genuine and real. Okay, let's continue here. We have the King of Gems. So we have a true pair situation, and this King of Gems is specifically one of the Skeksis here. It's interesting because in yesterday's reading, this particular King of Pentacles was holding this gift, right? And looking at it with genuine curiosity and holding it close to them. But today, I don't know why this gem seems to be pointing at the King of Pentacles. It's really strange. I don't know who this King of Pentacles is. We have the Justice here. There's something here about maybe a Libra, but there's also this Page of Cups, which is kind of like giving either there's a Libra that you're giving some sort of apology to, or there's something here very genuine about an apology being given. Somehow this is justice in the situation. We have the Four of Wands here too, along with the Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords. Whatever this was, it was heavy in nature, and it has something to do with the Empress and the Lovers. This is about unconditional love, true unconditional love with the Empress and the Lovers. So there was a situation here where there was some sort of potentially betrayal. I don't know why I'm getting this with the Ten of Swords here or the Ten of Stones in this deck. And there was a genuine apology or something like that. There's something here about mending and a stitching together. And so it's interesting because there could be a King of Pentacles that you're dealing with specifically here who's like holding this gem, and it's like somehow pointing at them, and I don't know why that is. And again, I don't know why I feel the need to say, like, whatever this is, it's okay. I feel the need to somehow say it's okay. Like a genuine, like, I don't know why I keep getting that. Like, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it, or it's not all, I don't know why I'm getting, like, it's not all it appears to be. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Virgo here. We also have Capricorn with the Devil. So Leo so far. Very interesting. I don't know why I feel like there's like a moment of panic as well. And I need to like come in to say like, hey, I don't know why I feel the need to say like, hey, it's okay. It's almost like I need to come in and like give a very gentle touch to somebody here, because I don't know why I'm getting concepts of almost like panic. And whatever this panic is, it's okay. Like, I don't know why I feel the need to say this here. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands here. I don't know why this Eight of Wands gives me something about like almost like a vision, but not quite. I don't know why I'm getting something about like a tight squeeze or like a pressure that was being applied here. This pressurized event, because note these three wands here, or, you know, shards in this case, are like making their way through this very small like crevice, right? And so for whatever reason today, I know, like, follow me with these things because this is just how my brain works. These three shards are fitting their way through here, and then they emerge on the other side. So there's something here about like pressure being applied. Whatever this pressure is somehow necessary. It's actually a good thing, oddly enough. Like a highly pressurized event. We have the Page of Gems here and the Queen of Stones. I don't know, like with all the colors here, this gives me like rainbow flag concepts. And there's something here about a Queen of Swords and a Page of Gems. And there's something here about like a flute or like music specifically, like something very musical that's very soothing here. Queen of Stones is somehow like, I don't know why, like a mesmerization event, or I don't know why I keep feeling the need to say like it's okay. It's strange because I know that these are not the same suit, but it's almost like each one is pointing at the same exact thing, right? Note that this Page of Gems, it also has something that they're pointing at, and then this one also has it too, but it's somehow different. Maybe it's a shared idea or something like that, like a shared idea. Whatever this is, it's beautiful somehow with the Six of Gems here. There's like some sort of exchange. Ooh, goodness. Ace of Swords. So whatever that was, like my Ace of Swords card is my confirmation card. So there was some sort of exchange here. Whatever it was beautiful somehow. Okay, let's continue here. Nine of Cups. See, like I'm saying, okay. I don't know why this King of Pentacles like gave me like a heaviness in the chest here. And I don't know why I keep feeling the need to say it's okay. there's a pressurized event happening here. What this King of Pentacles is not somehow seeing is that in going through this, it actually brings them to a great wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups. Today, it almost feels like a wish come true, like a very beautiful wish. I don't know why I'm getting concepts of childhood here as well, like something that like maybe you wish for in childhood. By going through this pressurized event, what you're not recognizing is that it's actually leading you to a great deal of happiness. It ties into the sun as well for whatever reason I'm getting here. Ace of Gems. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. I don't know why I'm getting something about a dance party. Justice. Okay, something is being made right here, okay? Again, Page of Cups, again, there's something here about an apology and something being made right. Okay, very interesting. And I'm getting all this always gives me like a stitching together. And whatever this is, it's beautiful somehow. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here. I don't know why this Ace of Pentacles kind of reminded me. Now, I haven't really been a huge fan of the Zelda like series, but like this kind of reminded me of concepts of like the Triforce or something like that. Very strange. But there's something really dark about this Ace of Pentacles, and it somehow feels really good. This is a gift somehow. What one is not recognizing is that this darkness is actually a gift. And it's interesting because a lot of the times people tend to conflate darkness with evil. And there's a very, very stark difference between evil and darkness. Darkness is something that exists, like concepts of the moon, right? And obviously with the dark comes fears of the dark, right? The things that are unknown and unseen. And so there's something here about this idea. I don't know why I'm hearing like, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Like, I don't know if that's a message out there for someone specifically, like you are beautiful and you are loved. And no matter what this darkness event is, it actually doesn't make you any less beautiful or anything of that. It's like, just accept the beauty that comes with the darkness. Like, this is a very beautiful thing somehow. And then all of a sudden we have this judgment that comes in with this Four of Cups. And so this Fizzgig here is like, kind of like rar about this for whatever reason, like rar. I don't know why I'm getting this, because Fizzgig is a really interesting character in the Dark Crystal. And there's something here about like, I don't know why I'm almost like chewing down on whatever this Four of Cups is. The judgment is somehow chewing up a missed opportunity or some sort of, I don't know why I'm getting specifically a missed opportunity. This judgment is like, let the judgment like flow somehow, like let it be somehow. Judgment isn't a really interesting idea. We as human beings love to judge others because we do not understand them, right? That which we do not understand is what we fear. And so with this judgment, oftentimes the way that we move through these fears is by judging whatever these fears are. And so like, let the judgment kind of like consume whatever this Four of Cups event is. I don't know why I'm getting it that way. Like whatever this judgment call is, or this harsh judgment, maybe for some of you there is a harsh judgment, maybe in dealings with some sort of monetary offer or a gift of somehow, maybe a missed opportunity in it. Like let the judgment eat it. Like it's, I don't know why I'm getting like, don't worry about it. Like it's fine. This is actually somehow not necessary. Like it's a silly concept. It doesn't make sense somehow. It just doesn't make sense. And so just let it be for what it is, okay? All right. So format with my readings, I'm going to enter some storytelling here because in particular, I have dealt with the Abrahamic concepts, and so I'm going to talk about the devil and the concepts around the devil and how the devil and God are, in a sense, in the Abrahamic religions, one and the same, right? And not so much Judaism, but more so in Christianity and Islam. So I want to talk about a particular biblical verse that like always really, really did not sit well with me. In particular, this biblical verse is from Psalms, and I don't remember the exact one. I think it was like 163:7 or something like that, chapter 163, verse 7. And it says, "Happy is the one who seizes your infants and dashes them against the rocks." This particular biblical verse gives me a sense of like just shock. The fact that we could find these particular things, right? We like to preach from the Bible all of these loving messages. And granted, I will say that there is some value in spreading a message of love. But we also have to understand the origins and the foundation of the very thing that we're preaching. And so for us to like ignore the Old Testament is actually doing a disservice to Christianity in general, because it has Jewish roots, right? The Old Testament is about the Jews and, Judaism. And so this is a prayer to God. I have some notes here just because this is a particular verse that's never sat well with me that I have to talk about. But this verse specifically speaks about the violence against the enemies of God. So one of the questions that this generates for me is that how can an all-knowing, all-loving, and truly just God ask for such things? I feel like that's a fantastic question to ask, because if we are preaching that this God is a God of love, why would the Jewish people ask for the murdering of babies? Like, let that sit for a second. We're talking about infants, some of the most innocent creatures that we know and love, right? Whenever we see babies, at least most people, or some people, not all people I know, because some people don't like babies, but like these innocent creatures are basically being called to death. Like, how is that okay? So this particular verse is a cry of revenge from the Jewish people at the time. And I would say, granted, they may have endured a great deal of pain as a result of being enslaved by the Babylonians, but if God is all-knowing and all-loving, why would the murdering of infants and the genocide of a people be considered moral or correct? I think that's a genuinely good question to ask. How is that moral, or how is that correct? And so this is where Christian apologetics tends to come in, because they'll say, like, we have to understand the context of the time. Well, I've already given you the context. The Jewish people were enslaved, and they went through pain because of it. And granted, like, they did suffer, at least accordingly, like, whether or not you believe most of the Bible is true. I am of the belief that a lot of it is just myth. A lot of it didn't, in fact, happen. We've never seen a talking snake before. Plain and Jane, simple. I've never seen a talking animal, unless we're talking about birds who are taught how to actually speak, right? So a lot of this is like fantasy and myth and lore that has somehow been trained, people have been trained to believe that this is somehow true. And so with that being said, I don't know if this actually, in fact, happened to the Jewish people. I am not a scholar, but there are other people out there who have studied a lot of it, and they have known that a lot of the Bible is, in fact, unfortunately, myth. That's what it comes down to. Whether or not you want to believe the scholars is up to you, because people want to believe ultimately what they want to believe, regardless of what the truth is. Oftentimes people deny truth because they don't want their worldview to shift. And this is what's referred to as cognitive dissonance. When we are met with information that differs from the beliefs that we were taught, and our biases do not allow us to want to see the truth, so all of this weird stuff happens in the brain, and it's like, no. It's almost like you've met something that's like, like, why? Like, what? That kind of stuff, right? And so I'm going to read a little bit out of the Satanic Bible here. There's a chapter here called Wanted, God, Dead or Alive. So, it is a popular misconception that the Satanist does believe in God. The concept of God, as interpreted by man, has been so varied throughout the ages that the Satanist simply accepts the definition which suits him best. Man has always created his gods, rather than his gods creating him. God is, to some, benign, to others, terrifying. To the Satanist, God, by whatever name he is called or by no name at all, is seen as the balancing factor in nature and not as being concerned with suffering. This powerful force which permeates and balances the universe is far too impersonal to care about the happiness or misery of flesh and blood, creatures on this ball of dirt upon which we live. And I would argue that, Anton LaVey has some really great points here because, there's a great deal of injustices in the world. There's a great deal of suffering that we've all endured. We see it outright in the world. And yet, we can pray to God and continue to pray endlessly to God or to the gods or to the goddesses, and we will not see outright action in the world to help other people to fix the situation. Ultimately, the people that are responsible for helping with suffering is ourselves. We need to go out there and do something about the grand injustices that are occurring on the planet. There are children starving right now. There are children on their deathbed right now because they're dehydrated. They don't have food to eat. And we can only make that better if we actually do our best to actually make that a reality. And so I'm not telling you to go out and donate to all sorts of nonprofits right now, right this minute, but it is something to contemplate because perhaps in time, that may be something that you have the capacity to do. If you don't have the capacity to do it, you have to recognize that unfortunately, and as painful as this might be, we have to make sure that we take care of ourselves first. Because if we don't take care of ourselves first, we will never be able to help other individuals. We need to be able to take care of ourselves, providing a roof over our head, making sure we have food to eat, making sure that, we have water to drink, like the basic necessities. And even then, unfortunately, we live in a world where if there's a stock market crash, sometimes a lot of that stuff that you saved needs to be pulled from as an emergency fund in order for you to continue to sustain yourself. And so I would also like to argue that on top of Christianity and the Abrahamic religions, I'm not going to say just Christianity, but on top of the Abrahamic religions causing so much strife on this planet, we also have some very, very unjust systems in place. We have all of these ideas, communism, capitalism, socialism, right? And all of these ideas, I feel like we haven't actually established anything worthwhile that truly helps humanity as a whole. If you'd ask me, there have been obviously great medical breakthroughs and scientific breakthroughs, and yet despite this, we've still not been able to solve our problems. And there is a great temptation here to turn to God to help us fix those problems, or at the very least, we could say, well, when I die, I get to go to heaven instead of hell. But how can we sit around knowing that these injustices are occurring on the planet and say or do nothing about it? And so we need to be able to have these conversations and share these ideas outright, because without conversation, a lot of the times we won't make action. Communication is key in these aspects. Talking about these things matter. And why the reason this matters to me specifically is because as an LGBTQ person, I was persecuted, I was betrayed, I was wounded so very deeply to the point that I didn't even want to live anymore. I have spent so much of my life in survival mode because of the Abrahamic religions. And so this is my way of advocacy for all of my people who have also suffered the great injustice of the Abrahamic religions, being told that they can't be who they are, even though they did not choose to be that way. And one of the questions that I always ask people whenever they tell me that, no, it is a choice. Did you choose to enjoy your favorite food? Did you choose your favorite food? Is that an innate choice that you made? Is that something that you genuinely made a decision? I tend to be fond of curries. I don't know why, but that is one of my favorite foods. I don't remember ever having in my life chosen. And I do choose to eat curry because curry tastes good. And so on the other hand, I know Christians will go out of their way to say, well, you can choose not to be who you are. How is that just in any sort of way? To tell people that they are not allowed to be. Again, this is why I tie in the Wiccan Rede, and it harm none, do what ye will. How is causing another person suffering by oppressing them just? How is that okay? And if the narrative was reversed, let's say we had a world ruled by LGBTQ people, what if LGBTQ people said to straights, we're sorry, you can't have sex anymore. It's an abomination in the eyes of whatever God exists. Being queer is actually the pinnacle of existence. If we were to flip the narrative, What would happen then? All of a sudden, straight people would be like, absolutely not. And it's interesting because a lot of the times straight people do get triggered by LGBTQ people because they feel like their rights are being stripped away from them, which is not even remotely the case. All we're asking for is equality. I don't think that's a really big ask either. All we want to be is treated as human beings, ultimately. These are some questions that I'd like you to reflect on if you're the kind of person who maybe have stumbled across my channel to, I don't know, gain some of the mysteries of the universe. Ultimately, I don't know what's going on. And we can pretend that we know what's going on, but the truth of the matter is that we do not know what's going on. That's the honest truth. Anybody who sits there and claims to know all of the mysteries of the universe, very interesting. I'd say, like, I would have to, like, okay, well, if you know all the answers, show them to us. And if it was true that you knew all of the answers, then why isn't everybody else following it? Because it makes sense for them. We can't apply a blanket to everybody and say everybody must be this way. No, life is much too diverse for us to do that. We can see it in nature. Nature is incredibly diverse. There are creatures and plants that can change from one sex to the other. Is that unnatural? It's already built in. And for people to say that being trans is unnatural, have you looked into the scientific evidence? And if not, why? Because maybe, are you afraid of the truth, of what you'll actually find? Or is it because you prefer trans people not to exist? And if that isn't the devil, tell me what is. All right. That's all I have for you. Feel free to comment below if this reading resonated at all, or if you want to join in on the discussion. I'm more than happy to read your guys' comments. I genuinely appreciate those of you who have been engaging with me. I appreciate all of the love that you've all demonstrated. And that's all I have for you today. So I wish you nothing but the best in this life. Take care, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye now.